Yo, what's up? I wanted to show you guys real quick the gear I was using, my stats, talismans, incantations, things like that that helped me through this fight before I get to the clip. So basically, just to start off with the most important item, which I'm sure a lot of you diehard Soulsborns out there are aware of right now. Blood Fiend's Blood Arm, plus 25. Smithing Stones, of course. Um, cragblade, I added that Ash of War with Blood Spec. It is absurd. As you can see there in the bottom, causes blood loss build up 221 with scales B with arcane, so it scales very high. I beat the boss with 75 arcane. You could pump it up even higher if you want. I don't think it's necessary, in my opinion. Then you're going to need roughly 25, 27 faith in order to run the incantations I used. Then you want to pump strength up 40, 45, whatever you can do. You want to be around level 150, 175, I'd recommend for this fight. Endurance 30. Mind, you're not too worried about mind. I'd say try to keep 15 would be a good minimum. Vigor, I always like to keep above 40. Then armor really doesn't matter. This helmet just gives you focus, so that's why I had it on. Then I don't think I had these on during the fight, but like I said, armor's kind of subject to change. It really just depends on what you want to go in with. Personally, I like medium roll. A lot of people don't, but that's kind of just what I go with. Moving on to the talismans, the Crimson Seed Talisman. This one is a DLC talisman you get with doing the finger quest. I think it's the first horn you blow. Obviously, spoilers, but you're fighting the last boss, so what am I saying? Enormously boosts physical damage negation. Very, very dramatic here. You find this in the Halleck tree in a chest. I'm pretty sure above Millennia's. I want to say above Millennia's boss fight room. And then this was what really got me through it. So the Golden Braid and the Ritual Shield Talisman. So the Golden Braid obviously is going to negate most of that second phase holy damage. The Ritual Shield Talisman for defense. So whenever you're maxed, like whenever you have max health, you see this little like kind of orb around my body. You're gonna be able to tank basically a hit. You will take some damage, but I mean, I'm not sure the statistics behind it, but it negates a lot of damage. And then Crimson Seed Talisman. Like right now, I have all my tears and all my flasks. But for the fight, I didn't. So I didn't even have the max amount of healing. So I put this on because you want to be able to stay max health as much as possible. And that's why we're going to move on to the Physick. So with the Physick, I would say you can use obviously what I have on the Opaline Hearts here just for more damage negation. Because I mean, you're kind of forced to use it in the DLC. Or you could replace it maybe with Bubble Tear if you like. Or Charge if you know. Because you are charge R2ing basically to get through this. So the Spike Crack tier for that. But yeah, basically the Crimsonburst Crystal tier is going to restore your HP steadily. It's slow. I don't even know what the actual math is behind it. But it is pretty slow. But it can be effective, especially mixed in with the talisman itself. Then I always carry Boiled Crab on me. It's just something I've done since I've started playing this game, since as soon as I figured it out. So pop that too. Pretty sure most of the physical damage negation will all stack. Then lastly, move on to the seal. So it doesn't really matter what seal you use because, at least in my case with this build, you're just using it for buffs. So starting off with the most important buff, which I'm sure you all know you can just put on a weapon. Golden Vow. It is going to boost damage and defense. Then Flame Grant Me Strength will help with stamina and damage. Then Lord's Divine Fortification will help you with even more holy resistance. So, I mean, right there is probably like the only three that I personally think you need. There are other spells to kind of play around with in terms of fortification, but those cost a lot to spec. Yeah, see, Black Flame Protection, like I could even use that if I wanted. But those were the three they got me by. And I think that covers it. There's not much more. I'll give you another quick look at my stats here. Like I said, this isn't the exact equipment I had on. But I figured I would just share with you guys what kind of got, me through it. The Ashore War is subject to change. You can change that to whatever you want. I prefer cragblade just because it's good for all around, like everything, basically, in the game. And this build is just insane right now. Like, this will probably get a nerf. I'm sure a lot of people know about it. But I'm just sharing my knowledge on it and what I've kind of figured out up until this point. I think that about covers it. So yeah, pump arcane, pump strength. I like to keep my endurance above 30. Mind, I'd say 15 and above on average. But yeah, this build here will kill it. So I'm about to show you guys coming up. Got a clip of me beating the boss. Real quick before we hop into the fight here, I just wanted to point out that depending on how many times you hit him, he will get staggered. I think it's roughly around 3. He has about 120 poise. So just make sure that you are frequently hitting him within a tight window as much as possible with the charge R2s, or you will not hit that stagger. Alright, so I just wanted to pop in here and let you guys know with this build, you have to brute force the boss. Especially in this first phase, you have to sneak your charge R2s in when you can. It's kind of tricky sometimes until you get the hang of his initial first phase moves. And then you'll see in the second phase how sometimes I just have to no balls run it down at him and smack him whenever I can.